Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt, fix several years of financial misbehaviour and bring a bit of smoothness back to my financial life, because I think things might actually be, I don't know, getting back on the right track slightly. For anyone who's not been here for a while, I am a first year teacher, having retrained after a decade spent in another industry where I spent a lot of time racking up debt, and I still have that debt. It's still debt that I need to deal with, but as a result of a pretty serious illness, I was off work for 3 months, which resulted in me getting half pay, followed by a 7-week phase return period where I also received a mostly, for some of that, reduction in my wages as well. July is the first month where I have received close to normal on what my take home is normally, which is normally around £1,980, and as a result of some student loan payments which are now kicking in, I am receiving £1,930. One thing I get as a teacher is the teacher pension, and it's not a perfect system, and indeed in the UK, in terms of like pension payments and contributions and percentages, it's a pretty murky subject that I don't know enough about to talk about in any great detail, apart from what I pay myself and apart from what my employer pays. So I can't say whether it is having a pension is better than investing in mutual funds. I can't say whether they're better than 401ks. I can't comment on any of that. I can just comment on what I'm currently experiencing. My pension payment is a taxable benefit, so I pay tax after my pension has come off, and my employer also contributes as a teacher a pretty significant amount. So I pay 7.4% and my employer pays 28.6% each month, and that their 28.6% doesn't come from my wages, but my 7.4% does. Now, tracking the teacher pension and the pension payments, ideally you would use the teacher pension service. However, any teachers watching in my comments will be able to probably back me up and say that they are not the quickest when it comes to making sure their paperwork and their systems are updated, and so it has taken them nearly a full calendar school year to actually contact me to say, oh hi, we realise that you need to create an account with us, and it will probably take at least another 6 months for the balance, now that I've created an account, to actually be live and updated. So whilst I am going through, and every couple of months or so I do a video like this where I track my pension payments, this is not including any interest, and I also round down because I am a little bit restricted by the savings challenges that I have available to me. But it's a good little video just to kind of track, to keep, when you're paying off debt and when your income's not been great, actually in the background there was something positive which is building for the future, and that is of course a pension fund for me to draw on. Now I know there's been issues with the teacher pension service and potential changes and swaps and all things like that. I don't know enough to comment about it, so I'm not going to. All I know is that at the end of the day, having access to retirement funds, as someone who is in their early-ish 30s and has never saved for a private pension ever, this is a way of me looking after me and putting away for the future, and it is a way for me to look for positivity when I can't really tackle my debt heavily or at all at the minute, and my financial life has been a bit disrupted. This has stayed regular throughout. Now, the numbers I'm updating for you today are my pension contributions from my end of June wage, which covers me for July, and my end of May wage, which covered me for June. In a couple of months' time, probably September time, I'll do another update for July and August and keep it going that way. But this will probably be another shorter-ish video for you as we roll into July, back with hopefully regularly scheduled programming. It's something I try and keep an eye on and do around payday, just because it ties in with that. So what I'm going to do now is take you through my numbers, which I've already gone through and pulled out, because I like to keep my actual wage slip breakdown confidential because of the information that it contains on there. Now, across the 2 months, May and June, I paid out £345.28 in pension contributions before tax, and my employer paid £1,338.20 before, as a as their contribution, and that's across 2 months, giving me a total combined pension contribution of £1,683.48. Now I get rid of the small change, and because of the £3 there, I have rounded down, so I have got £1,680 to track today, which just on the £50 big savings challenge, which I've got here, I've got a 10k one and I've got a 2.5k. These are not my designs, they are bought from someone else, and I'm ever so sorry. I don't think that budgeter or that account exists anymore, because I haven't been able to re-find the link to list it. Every time I do this video I do try to do that. So that is 33 lots of £50 that I can go away and track. And I'm probably under tracking the amount, like I've said, because it's not taking into account the fact that there is interest as well. When I do eventually get access to the balance sheet, I will go ahead and actually pull that information and look and see what the difference is. But until that time, it's just better off that I go ahead and track whatever it is that I have in front of me in terms of your hard tangible numbers. Now 33, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so these are the ones I'm going to go ahead and colour in. And with budgeting, and if you're in a position where you are torn between saving but then not being able to pay off debt, or putting a chunk towards debt but then not being able to top up your savings, because let's be fair, the reality for many of us is that our income just doesn't go all of the ways we want it to. If we just look at our standard wage breakdown, which mine certainly does, my wage will allow me to live to a certain level, and I wouldn't say it's a level that accommodates holidays, excessive spending, replacing of things that breaks. It's not a level which accommodates spending if I just look at my income from teaching. And that is because I am a first year teacher. And the good news is as well is that I have been told, but until I actually physically see this in my account, I am not going to rely on it. I have been told that I will be moving up the pay scale, and that will be reflective in my wages as of the end of September. Now, my very, very, very rough calculations means that that should be about an extra £100 for me to take home, which is fantastic. But until that lands in my account, we're going to assume, based on history around these parts, that it's not going to happen. And we need to, I'm not going to bank on that extra £100, because I know that I can live my life to a certain level and cover what I need to cover on my wage as it is now. And ideally that extra £100 will be able to go towards debt or savings, but it still won't be enough to do both. So whilst it can be really hard to come to terms with that, and like many of us around here, many of us in the budgeting community, we will look for other sources of income to make sure that we can pay off those debts or put savings aside or cover an unexpected expense. It's also good to look at, I think, but this again is not financial advice, what is already happening in and around your wages. What money have you earned but hasn't landed in your account that you have already tucked away for a rainy day? And yes, the teaching pension is significantly large, and it is one of the larger ones. If you are contributing money from your pension and you're sitting there going, I don't feel like I am getting any success or any wins, and I'm not saving, and I can't get any savings behind me, and I can't track, but you desperately want to and you want to find those wins, why don't you go ahead and try and track what you're putting into your pension and what your employer is putting into your pension as well, so that you can see that pot grow and have that as something there in the background. It's worth a try. It may not be for you, but it's something that I've been able to go back to when I've been feeling a bit like I can't get my money to do all the things I want to do. It's a good thing to look back on and work and reflect with. So in a couple of months' time, we'll go through and we'll look and see if I get my balance statement through between now and then. I'll do another video and update these numbers. But we're coming nearly to the end of the 10k challenge, and then there is the 2.5k as well. But this, for perspective, this is everything that I have paid so far towards my pension since the end of September when I received my first wage. So I'm not doing too badly, and it's good to see that pot grow. I will be back hopefully tomorrow with another video. I'm not quite sure what that one will be. I might do an update on the 5k challenge and look and see how that's going. I know it's not going as well as it could be and should be. And again, am I just repeating myself by saying exactly the same things or not? I will have a think and a decide. Apart from that, have a fantastic budgeting week wherever you are in the world, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye bye for now.